we're going to start off first. This was earlier this morning. This was the Raiders fired GM Reggie Mckenzie, who's been their GM since 2012. And a lot of people thought this guy was a good GM. A lot of people think this guy's a bad GM. It's pretty much mixed reviews depending on who you ask, especially Raiders fans. But as of late, you guys know Khalil Mack has been traded and he's balling out. He's in the conversation of being Defensive Player of the Year. You look at Amari Cooper, who last night had 10 receptions, 217 yards, and 3 touchdowns. These are both players that Reggie Mckenzie and John Gruden decided to trade for some draft currency. But in all viewings of things, it was a bad trade if they don't know what to do with their draft currency. I don't think it was the right move to fire Reggie Mckenzie just yet. I mean, you fired him after you just won against the Pittsburgh Steelers. What does that tell you right there? At least fire him after a big loss, a division loss, something, it honestly looks like right now that Reggie Mckenzie was literally fired because of Amari Cooper's performance against the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what it looks like to me. That's how I interpreted it. I don't know how any of you guys interpreted it, but it feels like Reggie Mckenzie was fired because of Amari Cooper's performance against the Philadelphia Eagles. And to me, that's not fair to Raiders fans. That's not fair to Reggie Mckenzie. And it's not fair to the Raiders organization. If you're going to fire him, you should have fired him years ago for the bad defense he's put out there on the field for you guys to deal with for years on end. Even when they went, what was it, 11-5, the year Derek Carr was going completely off, he had to have a good offense because their defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. So you look at what Reggie Mckenzie has given you on the defensive side of the ball, besides Khalil Mack and besides a couple other guys, you look at other guys that he's brung in, they're not good. Their D-line has been consistently bad for years. Their secondary has been consistently bad for years. Their linebackers have been put together by undrafted free agents and older players. And you should have fired him before that, but you fire him after a big win against a playoff contender in the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I'll get to the Pittsburgh Steelers in just a little bit. But to me, it just looks like you fired him because of the performance that Amari Cooper put together last night against the Philadelphia Eagles. So all that being said, I think he deserved to be fired, but just not yet. You should have waited until at least the end of the season, or you should have waited until a big loss, and then you could have kind of masked it. Even if it was for Amari Cooper, you could have masked it and be like, oh, look, this was a bad loss. It shouldn't have happened. This is because of what he put on the field for us, and fire him for that.